Good evening, everyone. Heading reports in this edition. Counterfeit products find PNG easy access. Customs moves to tighten laws. Trade, Commerce and Industry Minister Richard Maro relentless in his pursuit for a fair and better deal in trade for Papua New Guinea. And Gulf Province seeks more infrastructure development funds, having acquitted earlier allocations. The news is not so good. Papua New Guinea is said to be flooded with shipments of infringed and counterfeit products. Such is the extent that customs officials want tougher surveillance measures and laws to deal with it. A workshop on that got underway in Port Moresby today, as Mark Kayok reports.
The influx of counterfeit and piracy products has been a concern for the Papua New Guinea customs. A lot of these prohibited products are coming into the country without notice. Customs PNG is a mandated authority sanctioned by the government to protect our borders and securing our future. It has raised concern on the increased number of these illegal products. Before reaching our source, Customs PNG and source cargoes are researched and examined carefully. When products are already on the ground, it is the work of police and other authorized agencies to carry out investigations. A workshop was held today by directors and assistant commissioners of certain sections under the Customs Compliance and Procedures Division. The one-day workshop opens up discussion on the overview of the Intellectual Property Rights Administration and the review of the Prohibited Imports Regulation Policy, or IPR. The IPR legislation allows custom officials to enforce the rights of IPR at the border. That means customs officials are able to examining and looking at goods that infringes the intellectual property rights of businesses and companies or rights holders of the cargoes. Recently, rights holders have raised concern on the ineffectiveness of enforcing this piece of legislation. This has forced customs to review the policy to make it more effective.
The main objective of this workshop basically is to review the PNG Customs prohibited import regulation and make it more effective in addressing intellectual property rights and related issues. In recent times, we've seen the increase in counterfeit and pirated goods flooding the marketplace and all that. So even the general public is asking us what we are doing in terms of enforcing such goods that are coming in. So the customs prohibited import regulation, the one we are currently trying to review, is the legislation that allows us to enforce such goods, enforce the rights of IPR at the border. So
Customs PNG is a member of relevant international organizations and is mindful of facilitating trade. By introducing such laws, it helps the organization to effectively implement the policy. The IRP has two parts, the recordation with customs and the intervention by customs. Director Vele explains further.
Prohibited import regulation has two parts to it. That's the recordation and the intervention. The recordation allows us to monitor the product or the trademark for 2 years. And within the time when we make a detection, we tell the right holders to file the intervention application. Intervention is when our guys stop, a container, checks the container and, all that. So it involves time and, resources. So we charge a fee for it.
Review of the IPR legislation and recommendations made will be submitted to Customs Council for endorsement. A copy will be submitted to the First Legislative Council for consideration. Despite limited resources and logistical support, Customs PNG is confident of effectively carrying out its mandatory obligations to protect and secure our borders.
Mark Kayok reporting there. Also on imports and exports, the persistent pursuit of Minister Richard Maru for a fair trade deal for Papua New Guinea. That's after the break.